Take two.
You're now listening to the 1,000 Story Podcast, presented by 1,000 Story.
Okay.
Welcome to the 1,000 Story Podcast.
Hello.
We are your hosts, Najee.
And Luis.
And today we're going to be taking a quick tip session. Well, actually, we're going to be giving a quick tip session. We're not taking tips.
Yeah.
We're giving tips.
Unless you want to leave us a tip.
You know?
Yeah, that would be
also,
cool.
we accept tips.
Yeah.
Ha! But no, we thought it would be cool to do like a little quick episode on if you're flying solo. You know, well, not really just flying solo, but like tips for the individual. You know, if you can have a manager, you can have a team.
Individuals.
Regardless, these are things you should know if you're in the creative industry.
These are personal tips.
You feel us?
Yeah, like, you know, brush your teeth and floss.
You know, necessary things. Necessary evils.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, let's get into the first phase. First phase, picking your battles.
Like,
knowing when to pick your battles is a huge thing.
It's such a huge thing.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, you'll run into issues with anybody. With anybody. Everybody.
Everybody's going to have something that...
For real. But picking a battle can often sometimes burn a bridge, and you just really have to know...
Actually, picking your battle should help you avoid burning bridges.
Should help you avoid.
But sometimes you still have to.
But picking the wrong ones, that's what I was getting at.
I see.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I just wasn't expressing myself properly.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
You know, yeah. But, number one, as far as picking your battles.
Know when to stand for something you believe in, right?
Yes.
There's always, and it's not just for yourself, you know, for other people too in your industry. There's always a time when you need to put your foot down.
Yes.
When you need to, even if it's difficult, even if, you know, it looks like you're giving up like a really great opportunity. Oof. There are times where you just need to stand up for your own self and your own priorities, or your other peers that are going to be affected by, you know, your decisions. Mm-hmm. Prime example, you know, if you are trying to set yourself up a show, right? If you're kind of getting in contact with venues, or even if your team's doing it, whatever the case may be, you have to make sure that you and your team are all kind of on the same page and know when to accept the show and when not to accept the show.
Yes.
Some of the worst shows to accept, I think, would be pay for play shows.
I had to do that I did that one time, actually, and it was the worst experience because we had to pay essentially for the tickets in advance. So if you've never done a pay for play, it's trash. Don't ever do one. Don't make like. Don't apply for those shows so that those shows no longer exist.
Please.
Because they are so terrible. You essentially have to buy and you have to purchase all of the tickets that you yourself then have to sell.
Yeah.
To your friends and family and anybody you can get to come to your show so that you can make your money back.
Never mind the actual promoter, you know,
yes.
maybe doing his job.
Nope.
But he's also profiting, or she, or they are profiting from whatever you decide to put effort into. You know, you're paying them to play.
To perform.
Which is...
at a venue that they're not even trying to promote so that people come and spend money on you. You're not even making money off of this at all, really.
Yeah, the artist isn't.
Yeah, the artist.
The promoter is
making money.
Oh, God.
The venue's making money.
You know. That's all. They're all good, but you're not as an artist. No, that's horrible.
No.
And that shouldn't exist. But because we have a lot of artists who are just starting out, or they kind of got sold on the for exposure spiel. Yeah. You know, those exist, and it's dangerous. It's in those times where even if it looks good or looks promising or looks like a great opportunity, you need to say no. You need to know when to stand for just keeping the standards for what we all have to, go through and what we all can expect from dealing with promoters and dealing for shows and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's important to do that, regardless of if you're by yourself or with a team or whatever the case may be. Everybody needs to be in sync on that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a trash experience. Because I remember we had to eat the cost because we couldn't sell all the tickets.
Yep.
And so
then on top of paying for the tickets, then if you don't sell enough tickets, you still have to pay for the tickets that were unsold.
Yeah.
Which is like it's like the best
so
scam.
Stupid.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's the world's greatest scam.
Yeah. And people do it all the time.
Really
like
do.
New bands really get into that. And I honestly, for the life of me, can't understand because like the venue isn't even a coveted venue.
Right.
It's just like probably some venue around town.
Just avoid, even if it's
tiny
something
little venue.
huge, even if it's an arena, avoid pay to play.
Nope.
Avoid it. Don't let that shit happen.
You can't pay. You can't eat on exposure.
You cannot.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Do not do it.
Yeah, for real.
Other case when you should know for when to stand for something, or at least to put your foot down, right?
Yes.
Is when you're selling your work, right? When you're doing commissions, or if you're making beats for lease, don't undersell that shit because then everybody expects that.
Yes.
Again, it just boils down to knowing when to help everybody and help yourself. Get yourself paid and allow other people to get paid by actually setting an appropriate standard for your work and other people's similar work.
It happens way too often where services that are, real skills. It's
Absolutely.
difficult. It takes years of schooling to do certain artistic jobs, and to sit here and give that away for almost free. If you're talking about a super low price. At that point, you're doing not only yourself a disservice, but everybody else around you, because then the industry suffers. It begins to suffer because everybody expects that from the industry.
So I think there's one exception where, in the case of like something like Fiverr, right? Where you have, you're able to kind of like churn out these quick little ideas or like quick little drafts of things, or provide like if somebody just needs you to, make small edits in a file, not like EQ or anything, but just like do straight chops. If it's something singular like that, where if it's like a really, really simple single menial task, then yes, that makes sense. But that's still pricing yourself appropriately. Yeah. Most people are doing $20, $30 mastering jobs. Depending on, ideally, obviously, mastering should be simple, but it's not. It's an art form in and of itself because when you're paying for, they are paying for your ear, right? They're paying for your room. They're paying for the services that you render,
the equipment that you use.
They're paying for all of that. So for you to only charge $20, $30 for a mastering job, even if you could do it quickly, is not wise because you're not setting anybody else up. You're not setting yourself up or anybody else, and you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Because if you think about the equipment that you're using to have the best acoustic experience for the skills that you've built in your ears, that you've learned over the countless years that you've been studying music. That's a lot of time and that's a lot of money in the equipment that you've already poured in. To then just be like, $30 a job. That is not wise. That doesn't make any sense.
And yes, people will undercut you, but stop them from doing that. Even if you can't, but make sure at least account for yourself if you can, if possible.
And we know it's hard to set a value for yourself. It really, really is. And it's hard to say I cost this much per hour. But if you value yourself as an artist and you know that you're a good artist and you know you're good at something, it is a business, and you know you're good at something, you have to price accordingly.
You do. And the easiest way I think to do that, if you just want to take out yourself of the equation, right? If you feel uncomfortable, pricing yourself, then just straight talk numbers with yourself. Figure out what city, for what city you live in and for what your needs are. Calculate all your expenses, right? Literally write out everything you pay for per month and then multiply that for the year, right? So say, for example, I live in Erie, right? It costs anywhere from like $8,000 to $13,000 to live comfortably per year, right? So that's not including a car. That's literally just including me just living with the low rent that we have, which is great. But normally you should assume like 20 to 30K just for normal living. I'm in Erie, so I have a different budget. But let's assume 20 to 30K, right? Off top, that by itself, if you divide that, hourly, so 30K, and then let's say 50 weeks to account for 2 weeks of vacation or just off time because you're not going to be on every day, all day, right? And 40 hours a week, right? So let's say 40 hours a week. Actually, we'll do it backwards. So from 30,000 divided by 50 weeks. That means every week you need to be earning $600, right? So $600 then divided by 40 means that you need to be charging at least $15 an hour. At least.
At least.
Or if you do a flat rate fee, calculate how many hours it takes you to do a typical job and put that, lump that into the hourly rate.
Yeah.
Like this, you don't even have to consider yourself or what you feel, fits.
Yeah.
Literally just take your situation if you're uncomfortable
Take
with
your
that.
means. Yeah. What you need to live, what you need to survive in your city.
And there you go. And then over time, you can start going up from that point, right? This is just your base level, what you need, what you cannot accept any less than. And then once you feel like you're more comfortable in that situation, then you can say, all right, well, I know my worth and my value can increase my cost.
Yeah.
Right. So this is my base rate, but if you want my content over somebody else's content, this is going to be higher. And that's just how you build it. Yeah. Just start from the base.
And that really goes into like not shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, when you are pricing for yourself, I mean, you have to eat. You have to have a roof over your head. These are the things that you have to think about. I mean, if you're trying to, if it's a hobby, that's one thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you can turn a hobby into a career if you are smart about it. If you move about it in a way that knowing that you are a business and that you're trying to build a business for yourself, because then at a certain point when you are a business, then you have to start thinking about other expenses.
And
not
other
just
people.
How am I going to live? Yeah. It's how am I going to pay for this person? How am I going to get insurance for myself? There's a lot of things that go into making money.
Yes.
That
it isn't just about you and just about your own comfortability with it.
And your own self-sufficiency.
It's
in
about
life,
just providing and being able to provide that for yourself, your family, whoever is involved in your business. So do that. Stand for what you need. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by underselling yourself.
Yeah.
And speaking of shooting yourself in the foot, also don't oversell yourself either.
Yes.
You can. I know too many people who kind of try and flex, like I got this, or I know these people, or I can do these things, I got all this. And then when it comes to it, or when they kind of get the demand that they're, or like a, order for that kind of demand,
right,
and they can't handle it, or, they've kind of like taken on too much, right? Then you shot yourself in the foot because you've overpromised and underdelivered in that case. And that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah. See, I was always taught like underpromise, overdeliver. And it's a really good tactic because, if it's all about managing expectations. Mm-hmm. When you're managing somebody's expectation, it's way better to pleasantly surprise somebody than to let them down.
Always.
So much
always
better
to do that.
Yeah.
But you also have to keep in mind, though, because, the more, I'd say keep a balance of it. It ultimately is about just, balancing and managing expectations, but like try not to what was it? What did we say? Underperform?
Underperform.
Yeah. Try not to underperform too much. I'm sorry, overperform too much. Oh, no, underperform.
Yeah, underperform.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. Try not to underperform and overdeliver too much because that's going to cause them to then expect that's always going to be the case. Or like, for example, if you always say, I'm going to get this job done, and you're charging an hourly rate, right? If you're like, I can do mixing for $50 an hour, right? And you always end up, saying it's probably going to be like 4 hours, and you always get it done in 2, then they're just going to start expecting that you're going to get it done in 2. So when you do actually take 4 hours, then they're upset.
Yeah.
So it's all about just knowing yourself and kind of knowing how you work, and then being okay with what that takes. You don't always have to try and do the under
promise. That's what we were
under
saying.
promise.
Yeah,
Under promise. Under promise, over deliver type thing.
Yeah.
Just manage it. Just be smart about it.
Yeah.
I think so. I think
it is a balancing act. I mean, especially even when it comes to valuing yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and it's weird to say. It's honestly hard to give a tip and be like, don't. It's easier said than done. Really.
It really is.
Don't oversell yourself. Don't undersell yourself. You really do have to hit that just right.
You have to just trial and error it.
And it's going to take some time to figure that out. Because you're going to have to put your dip your toes in the water to figure out what people are even willing to pay.
Exactly.
Right? Not just pay the industry, pay you specifically. Because you could just be starting out and you're not that great.
Right.
So,
and in those cases, it's great to kind of get an idea from your peers.
Yeah.
What are they charging? What are the clientele? Like, who are their clientele? And like, who are they working with? That's where it's really beneficial to kind of just be in the network and be and connect with everybody in your community as well.
And you have to really keep your ego out of it as well, because like you might think that you're the greatest ever, but always keep a reference of yourself. Really, I mean, like really understand where you are and be honest about it. Like the worst is like thinking you're the best piece of shit that ever came. That's the worst. That's the worst analogy. But that you're just like the bee's knees. You know what I mean? That you're the greatest thing that ever came to like mixing or whatever. And then when you put your work up next to other people's, it's just okay.
It's okay.
Or it's mediocre at best.
And then people know, I shouldn't have paid that much.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't have gone to this guy.
Yeah. And then you lose clients.
So just manage expectations. Be honest with yourself, and be honest with your clients.
Yeah.
Ultimately, honesty is the winner here, and balance, honesty and balance.
And even when it comes to clients too, I mean, you have to know which bridges to burn as well. If you have somebody who is not willing to pay you the amount that you are asking for, that you require, and your work is worth it, I mean, that's not really a bridge that you need to keep around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even if they're threatening, I'm going to put your name in the dirt. You're like, you're dead. You're dead. Like, ignore that.
Yeah. It takes so much to do that to somebody.
Does.
And a lot of energy and work. And it's...
Know your worth. And know that if somebody's coming to you with some bullshit, stick to your guns and be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it moving, And again, that takes trial and error. That takes just finding these situations, learning what that feels like, learning what that, But again, you can circumvent a lot of your own pain just by talking to other people who have already gone through it,
And it really even takes courage to do that, to stand up for yourself to stand up for what you believe in.
And what you're worth.
Yeah, and what you're worth. And to tell somebody, no, I'm not willing to work for that. Because sometimes clients really do think that we need the gig.
Right.
And
I'm
that
Drake,
happens all the time.
I'm blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
This is, you should be grateful that I'm offering you this opportunity to work.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. I mean, yes, you should be grateful for an opportunity, sure, but it's an equal exchange of services. You're providing a service that they came to you for, right?
Right.
You have a skill that they need,
Yep.
And yes, you got the opportunity to portray that skill before anybody else did. Cool. But you still have a skill. You're still valuable. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Yeah. And the thing about, your skills, and especially when it comes to art, is that when you're talking about skills in art, there are only certain people that can do certain things. Like the way that you mix is different than the way that I mix.
Very true.
I have a different set of ears. My brain is excited by different sounds,
Yep.
So that plays into the sounds that I want to pull out for people, the ones that I want them to focus on, and so when people do come to you personally, they are coming to you for a specific reason.
Yep.
They're coming to you because you're the only one who has that specific style of sound that they're looking for. Yep. It's the same with a producer. You know what I mean? I mean, people will go to Kanye West when they're like, I want something that's super lit. You know what I mean? I want a super lit track, so I'm going to Kanye West or whatever.
But also specifically his sampling, his aesthetic, like just the way he crafts a beat, and the way you craft your art, the way you mix a song, the way you master a song, the way you write a song.
I just consolidate that into litness.
Litness,
we should have a litness scale. I feel like, isn't there like a litmus test? There's
a litmus test, which
test
has very racist background. But
what is that? I don't even know what it is.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the litmus test
tangent
was in reference to before Black people were allowed to vote.
What?
In the efforts to I think I'm thinking of the right test. Let me look it up.
Acidity or alkalinity using litmus?
Oh, I'm thinking of a whole different test. Never
Okay.
mind. What am I thinking of?
I don't even know.
I'm thinking of a very, very different test.
A litmus test is a test for acidity or alkalinity using litmus. I feel like we need to have a litmus test.
Hey.
Like, how lit is this? I give it about a 6.
6 out of like what? Like lit? Like 6 out of lit?
6 out of lit. Oh shit.
How do you get the lit? Like what's
what's
the scale?
Well, yeah, we got to figure out what lit is.
Yeah.
Like what's the song that's super lit?
Oh,
and remains lit.
Who knows?
I love it. We're going to develop the litmus
litmus
test. Oh shit. That's the greatest idea I've ever had.
So, long story short,
Anyway,
know your worth.
yes.
Don't burn bridges unless
Yes.
you have to. Stick with your guns.
Yes.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Please.
Yes.
Just
very important things. Very
And
important
connect
things.
with people. Speaking of connecting people, or connecting to people, you know,
Yes.
how do you find those connections? How do you rub shoulders? Like, where do you know, I live in Erie. We both live in Erie. You know, how do we gain connections and make success in this industry in the middle of nowhere?
It's been interesting. Honestly, like I feel like I have made more friends in the past like year and a half that I actually consider like that care about me.
Yeah.
That are like really, really great friends that I talk to like all the time through doing this podcast.
Yep.
You know? And it's just been because I feel like I'm a very personal person. Like I have to be not that I have to be in front of people, but like that's where I feel most comfortable communicating.
Right.
And communicating online is not really my forte. Not that I'm bad at it. It's just I'd rather have a face-to-face conversation.
You know, and it makes sense. You know, so in the case of someone who kind of like thrives around people, right? You work best when you're in person.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, it just kind of goes about like knowing yourself in that way. But me, for example, you know, I've rubbed shoulders, quote unquote, in both situations and do both successfully. I've had to train myself to kind of rub shoulders the best in person because I'm rather introverted, and you know, I gain my energy from being alone. You know, so being outside or being outside, connecting with outsiders, you know, connecting with external people, that takes away from my energy.
Right.
So for me, being at home and connecting over the internet was how I rubbed shoulders. I was, you know, sliding in DMs, not even sliding in DMs, literally just saying hi over like Twitter or like Instagram or Facebook. You know, Facebook was huge.
Honestly, saying hello and just putting that foot forward is huge.
Is
really
you
big.
know how many times I've just cold, straight emailed people just randomly just because I was like, hey, I like your stuff. Like bigger artists, like I'm like, hey, like your stuff. What's up?
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, what's up? Like, most people are like thrown off, like, because they're like, people don't just email.
Yeah,
people.
it's true.
And of course, there's, you know, the success rate of that is very, very low.
Yeah.
But I happen to be a very good, I have a good eye for, you know, choosing who would be susceptible or open to being just cold emailed.
Yeah.
But, you know, just try. Just send a message or, you know, connect with the community or online. You know, Facebook groups were a huge thing. I think they still are, actually.
Yeah.
You know, find a community. And, you know, SoundCloud, when SoundCloud was still popping, I was definitely part of the Facebook communities, just in comments, liking other people's stuff, sharing it over, you know, so people would create Facebook groups, they would create chat groups, you know, really just get yourself involved. But in the case of like, in the more traditional sense, right, if you're like, at like a mixer or something in person, like you're in LA, right? Like, how do you navigate a room full of people? And for me, again, it just boils down to saying hello and just being confident in how you say hello. You know, don't come off the bat being like, "Hey, how are you? Check out my stuff." That
that shit is just so like, you know, not everybody has time for that. People would rather connect with you
100%.
first.
Before they hear anything.
Because, you know, you have to understand the person. You know, that's how I feel. It's just like, if anybody were to walk up to me and be like, hey, what's up? Check out my music. I know for a fact I'm definitely not going to check it out. I don't know what kind of person you are. Do I even like you? You know what I mean? We haven't even had a chance to really communicate like that.
Yeah, same. Yeah. The thing is, it's like, I'm a very open guy and I'm a nice guy. So I used to just be like opening a bunch of people's stuff, but I've had to force myself to stop because people don't know how to come correct. And our other roommate, Monty, he's definitely helped solidify this, because
Yep.
I used to just be like, everybody needs love, and I'm like, nah. It just comes from again trial and error. But
I feel like I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the reason that people do that is because their communication is not genuine.
Right.
They're not coming to you to get to know you. They're coming to you
to take something
from you.
Whether it's your opinion or that's your shares,
or
your
to ride off of like what you're doing. You know what I mean? Say you're like pretty popular online, and people are like fucking with your music. If people are going to send you links all the time, but they're sending you links to try to get a chance, to try to cop into like your community and the thing that you're building. And if that's the first form of communication that you get,
check out my shit.
Yeah, like not even. I mean,
you're getting declined.
Even just like a quick question, like, "Hey, what's up? My name's Luis. I really like your music. I found it like a few years ago, or whatever. Are you ever open for collaborations?"
Right. Just asking that question already puts me in a great mood, because I'm like, thank you for asking. First of all, don't just assume that I'm going to accept it. Ask a question. Understand me. Understand what my process is.
Yeah.
Is this a good space to do this? Do you accept things via email? Where can I, like, what's your story? Like, connect with that person for a second. Even if your end goal is just to really get that song out there, take the second. Take the 5 seconds. Take the 5 minutes. Just connect with a person.
Don't just link assault somebody.
Nah.
Just try,
Connecting with people involves actually asking a question. The more you can ask, and the more you can try to actually connect to somebody as a human, you will get farther along than anything.
The better.
My closest friends, I've rarely made any music with, but we all support each other's shit. All the time. Like, it's not even a question. Like, it's to the point, like, obviously if they have a song, they're comfortable enough, and we're comfortable enough where they can just drop a link, but I just dropped something, and I don't even think about it. Like, it's there. Like, I'm already sharing it because we've had time to build
a relationship.
Yeah. It's about building a relationship,
Yeah.
And that the end goal for me, whenever I reach out to somebody or whenever I'm trying to do a music collaboration, is to build a relationship.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And that is the most important thing.
It
really.
ultimately is. Like, I love working with people that I can genuinely call a friend. Like, I am looking for friends in the industry, which is weird because a lot of people aren't. I guess in the major realm, there aren't a lot of friends. Like, it's hard to find friends in an industry where things are cutthroat and people are sketchy as hell. But I'm genuinely out here because I'm an independent dude. Like, I don't have any agenda. I just want to make cool music. That's it, you know?
And it's super important as an independent artist, to find people like that, because you have to build your own community.
You do.
Of friends, and you have to build a community that's going to help each other out. It's the only way you're going to build each other to the top.
Yep.
That's how collectives are. That's
why they work.
That's why they work, yeah. But it really comes down to relationships. Yeah. And actually genuinely caring about somebody outside of music.
Yep.
As just another human being that you respect, you admire for who they are, and yeah.
Just bringing it back to that mixer, right? You're in LA, you're in that mixer party, and you see, the top executive of a major label that you're really interested in being on.
Yep.
Go over, say hi, offer them a drink, find out what they're doing, how they're feeling about the party. Start to get to understand their process.
Yes.
And the thing that is so beautiful about understanding somebody and asking questions is that they'll then become curious as to who you are. Right? Like, you've tried to learn so much about them and you haven't pushed anything.
Yeah.
But you're at this party with them.
Yeah.
You're at the same space they are, and they're up on this level. So if they don't know you, why don't they? And your job becomes easier because then they want to get to know you. And at that point, then you can start just slowly introducing yourself and who you are. I mean, obviously, you want to come up and say, hi, my name is blah, 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 blah. But you don't have to, off the bat, be like, hey, I do this, I make this, check this out.
Yeah.
Just take your time. Build a relationship.
And it comes out of genuineness. I mean, you have to be really genuine about it. You can't go through that interaction and saying like, oh, this is my end goal, so I'm going to use these tactics. You know what I mean? When you place somebody in what I'm going to call, quote unquote, the center of the universe, when they are the most important thing to you at that point in time, that is a genuine, I am present. I am here right now, and I'm here listening to you. talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about.
Right.
And I'm picking your brain, asking you questions. And that interaction, like knowing that you can drop everything off for a moment to just really, really focus in on zeroing on one person and who they are as a person.
Yep.
That goes so far. So far.
So far. Please, if you take anything away from this, know that building relationships is going to get you so far.
It's going to allow you to send the link.
It really will.
It really will. And so it behooves.
It behooves.
It behooves one to build a relationship so that then, if at some point it is asked of you, you can share yourself. You can share who you are and show what you do.
Not everybody is going to get the link. Not everybody's going to want the link.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And not everyone's going to rock with it either. And that's okay. Because the reason that you're building the relationship is to have a relationship.
Yeah.
Not so that they can push your music or not so that they can, it's to actually connect with somebody.
And the crazy part is, even if they don't rock with it, maybe they happen to know somebody or they've heard of somebody or they have someone in their network who might rock with it. So they may be if you're looking for a collaboration type thing, they'll be like, I don't quite fit this, but I do know this person. Yeah. Or I do know, these people who might like this, right? And if you've built the relationship, they'd be more than willing to share that content with them. For you, instead of just being like, check this out.
Yeah.
I am not going to push somebody else's content. Like, if you send me something and you're just like, check this out or share, I'm not going to do shit. But if you had a conversation with me and you're like, I listened to your content after we got into talking for a bit, and I'm like, this doesn't quite fit me, but I really want to help this person out.
Yeah.
Like, I love this sound. I feel like somebody else can use this.
They're a good person.
So I'm going to go put this forth and send this to somebody. And that happens. That's not just me. Like, I'm a nice dude, but a lot of people love sharing things because networking is a powerful tool. It's how you succeed,
Yeah, it's true. And there have been times when like I've sent out links, and last year when I was releasing Tides, like I'm pretty sure I was done with my EP in like April, I want to say. And then like it was mixed and mastered and it was done. And I remember reaching out to some people and sending out links, and I waited. And I sat on that for a while. Almost like a few months without hearing anything back. And it was my mistake, honestly. It really was. At the end of the day, it was my mistake. I didn't hear anything back. And I think it just came down to like fear of like someone having heard my music and not necessarily have enjoyed it the way that or it didn't hit them the way that I want it to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's totally fine. I mean, music is for different audiences. Like there have been people who have heard my music and are like, yo, I really fuck with this shit. And there are people who have heard my music who are like, yo, keep going.
Like, we believe in you.
It's getting better, whatever. But I had to really learn how to move on my own without an email being like, yo, like, we're not going to take this. Even without that, I had to figure out my own deadline of when to be like, all right, so I've tried my best. I've shot my shot. It's time to move on.
Time to just keep
and
moving.
take things on my own hand.
And that timeline's going to be different for everybody. But if you feel like, if you're stressed about somebody hearing it, like, or if it's don't stress yourself. And don't place that stress on others to share your thing or share your content or hear your content, right? Just put it out there. Put it out in the ethosphere and see what happens. But always keep it moving. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to wait on somebody or expecting or, they feel that pressure. Like, you don't want to create pressure in that kind of environment. And even if you don't create the pressure, if they just don't respond or if they don't, don't waste your time either, right? Like, if you send something and be like, hey, I need a response on this, or I need your thoughts on this by, sometime before this time, or it's being released, in a week or something like that, and they don't get back to you, cool, keep it moving. Like, there's no point in wasting time on somebody who doesn't want to respect that deadline or your own timeline. Yeah. Because they may have their own timeline. It might not even be like an offense thing. They just literally don't prioritize.
And most of the time, it's not to be offensive. Right. It's just that we're all busy. You know what I mean?
People doing things.
We're all, and I've noticed that it honestly ends up coming from their actual relationship that's already built.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because if I sent it to somebody who's like a super close homie, they will take the time to listen.
100%.
You know what I mean? And they'll even respect. I'll be like, hey, can you check it out by this week? I just want to get some notes on it or whatever.
Right. I'm trying to drop it, in the next few months.
And I'm sure that they would. But if I sent it to like John, who works at who knows where, Spotify or whatever, and I met him one time.
Right.
Can
you check this out by this week? No.
It's not going to happen.
He's not going to do that.
It's not going to happen. He's got his own things.
He's
you know what I mean?
got his own
We only
thing.
met that one time at a mixer.
Right.
And we didn't even make lunch plans.
Nope.
Like,
nah. You bought him a drink and it tasted bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't built that relationship over emails. I haven't built that relationship over messaging, caring about him,
nothing.
Following up with him in his life.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So you
Context.
let that one go.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have just the fluke. Somebody's like, I'm feeling generous, or I saw this email. I'll check it out.
True.
That happens.
Yeah.
But don't rely on that.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're building relationships.
Yeah.
And always try and build new relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out when you can. Mm-hmm. But if it ain't working, let it go.
Yeah.
You will find another one.
And the thing with being an independent artist is that, yes, you are an independent, but you cannot do this solo. You can't.
You need it. You need a network.
You need a network.
Your network.
You need a community.
You need a community. You need people who are going to buy your shit. You need people who are going to help you.
Yes.
Help others buy your shit.
Yeah.
People.
You need to help others sell their shit too.
Yeah. It's not even like I scratch back I scratch your back, you scratch mine type thing. But it helps everybody. When everybody's talking.
Yeah.
When everybody's just connecting.
Yeah.
Right. But especially as an indie player, when your only source of audience is literally your audience, right? You need to build that. You need to build a relationship with the people who listen to your content as well. So that whether that's over Twitter and talking with people who listen to your album or or Instagram, or just sharing a video and asking people's thoughts, or seeing what they might be interested in from you, as far as the content goes, like what videos do you want to see more of? Do you want to see live covers, or do you want to see just live videos? Or do you want to see vlogs and things like that? And really connecting with them in that sense and building that relationship with your audience is important too. They're your people. It's so critical.
I feel like as far as independent artists, no matter what industry you're in, I feel like we're the wolves of the industry. You know what I mean? We're good at being solo for sure, but we fuck shit up in a pack. We're unstoppable. We really are. Dropping bombs. Oh man.
Damn.
Man.
Preach.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so hopefully those are some tips you can take to heart. Listen to them again. Repeat them. Make them your mantra at night. What are they called? Affirmations.
Affirmations.
Make them your nightly or daily affirmations. Build those relationships. Know your worth.
Know your worth.
If somebody isn't cutting it for you, move on.
Yes.
Just let it go, and more will come to you. Be genuine, and things will happen for you. That's all we can say. Ultimately, just be genuine, and know how to balance things.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Yeah. Truth.
But
anyway, those have been some quick tips.
Quick tips. Not really quick. It's quick considering the amount of time in a day. But it's still like 30 minutes. It's a solid. It's an episode.
It's a solid little conversation.
Narcos.
Narcos is like an hour.
That's like exactly. It's less than Narcos.
That's
less than Narcos.
Narcos.
So, if you have any other questions or any other tips that you want us to talk about, just things you want us to talk about, please
hit us up.
Hit us up. 1000 Story or at 1000 Story _ on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, sir.
By this point, it's an actual underscore, not the word underscore. So I'm gonna leave it at that. If you want to find us individually, I am at Mr. Naji Boy on Twitter and Instagram. That's MrNajiBoy.
And I am at El Pontillo. That's ELPONTILLO on Twitter and Instagram.
And if you like the episode, let us know, please. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, or YouTube or Spot. I don't know if you can't leave reviews on Spotify, but
I don't
Stitcher,
think so.
TuneIn, we're on everything. Whatever you're listening on.
But we're
please.
just like you. We're independent artists trying to make it, trying to provide something for you.
Let the people know. Share the love.
Let's build the community.
Share this episode with somebody who needs this information.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, let us know as well, please, because we would love to.
I would love to hear it. Yeah.
We would love to hear how we can help more or improve or not say stupid shit.
True. True.
We're always looking to learn and grow and connect with you guys. So
For sure.
please help us do that, and we'll help you. But thank you for listening, whoever has so far. Thank you for listening to us ramble and rant, and hopefully give you a glimmer of good advice. But what do we got going on next week?
Oh, damn. Oh, man. I don't even know. I can't.
Is this the first time? He can't think of the episode. Oh, my goodness.
I can't think of anything.
Oh, my God.
Really? Oh, my God. Actually, no. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. All right. So next week, we're going to talk about dating tips. All right.
Ooh.
How to rub shoulders.
In bed.
Oh, my God. In bed. Amazing. I love it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Rubbing shoulders in bed.
Thank you for listening.
That's unique.
It is.
I feel like somewhere in the world that is a fetish.
Oh, it definitely is. 100%.
There's a fetish for everything.
Always is. It's guaranteed.
It's wild.
But thank you. We love you.
I'm looking it up on Reddit.
Tune in next week, and we'll be here. This has been the 1,000 Story Podcasts with Najee
and Luis.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.